So just really simple. You can tell, she's talking about one student, but you can tell sort of the process she goes through is aligned with what we would want them to say. She starts with data, she talks about what she saw in the student, she talked about what actions she needed to change, and she wrapped up with what Manima said, which is, and here's the result I saw based on what I decided to change in my classroom. So just a really quick clip of what we can hear and what a core who really kind of is starting to get this, how they might begin speaking about their classroom. Okay, so let's now talk about what we need to do as CMAs to get to the outcomes that we just outlined with our school team. So I'm going to have some people read out, and when you hear what they say, I just want like a quick thumbs up, thumbs down. Is what they're saying going to get to the outcomes we just identified? Yes, or not going to get to the outcomes we identified? No. So can I have A go for me?
A CMA shares direct quotes from a classroom observation in a way that logically shows the connection between what the teacher is doing and what the students are doing.
Thumbs up, thumbs down. Right. I hear the word logic. I'm excited about what's happening in that classroom. Okay, can I have B?
A technical assistance note that leaves 7 suggestions, 2 of which are you should get more control of your class and try wearing brighter colors.
No. Okay, why not? Just real quick, one sentence. Why not? Lauren. Besides the fact that second idea is ridiculous, but what else?
Well, I think there's actually 7 things. Is it 7 next steps? I mean, that's totally overwhelming for a core member to like tackle 7 at a time. I think definitely needs to be more strategic.
Okay, right. And get better at something, not a really good next step. I'm sure they're trying. They need something specific, okay? C.
A CMA identifies classroom management skills as the biggest problem holding a teacher back, when the real cause of students not learning is the poor pacing of the CM's lessons.
No. Okay. Again, are we, if we're not thinking the right thing, we're probably not leading to outcomes. D.
Based on a review of CM's lesson plans and a classroom observation, the CMA believes that lesson planning issues are causing the most fundamental problems with student learning, and that without improvements, no change in the core member's execution will result in increased student achievement.
Good. We're on our way. And E.
The CMA speaks in generalities about the CM's actions in the classroom and is so vague about recommended next steps that the CM is unsure about what to do next to help students learn more.
Okay. So you just heard sort of some things that CMAs do and don't do that get to the outcomes. Take 2 seconds to just jot down. So based on what we just heard, what might a CMA have to do just generally to be able to get to these outcomes? If you had to take a stab at it and there were 2 things, because there are. So, there's 2 things that you need to be able to do really well to get to those outcomes, okay? The first thing is analyze the classroom correctly. So in some of those non-examples, what we heard is the CM said it was management, but actually it's poor pacing. So now we're about to go into a conversation identifying the less correct teacher action, which has some consequences. Can someone who's a PD maybe or a CMA talk about why this step is so important or has been CMA? Thanks. Yeah.
When you're thinking about one of the ultimate aims to increase student achievement, if you're not correctly analyzing the classroom and seeing the one thing that is the biggest contributor to what is currently happening and cause the gap, it's not going to actually, no matter if they follow on the next steps or not, it's actually not going to have the increase in student achievement that we're driving for.
Exactly. So especially when there's so many things to pick from, if we start picking the in terms of what you said, Kristen, prioritizing. If we're prioritizing the wrong things and they execute on those next steps, we're probably not going to see the change in student achievement that we need. And also their investment in our conversations starts to wane over time, okay? The second thing is communicating about it effectively. So if you've got that first part and you actually know, like I know actually what you need is plan with lesson planning because your assessment's not matching your objective. But then in that conversation, I can't communicate it I can't communicate about it in a way that the core member understands or they don't understand my next steps. Now they're leaving the conversation either not invested in what the real problem is or not knowing what they're supposed to do. Can I have a, yeah?
This kind of goes under both of them, but also like it's really important to have really specific next steps instead of like improve your management.
Exactly. And that definitely falls under communicating effectively, right? Like, and that's hard. Like both of these things I want to say are really hard. And I hope that after we leave this session, you have a healthy appreciation for what your program director currently does and what you're going to have to do this summer. Because it's really a high level of critical thinking. Like there's a lot of things going on in a classroom every time you go in, especially with new teachers. And so picking the things that we really need to focus on, when you know you want to focus on about 5 of them, you can't, and we won't. And so really using that logic to the right for holding form back. Okay. Any questions about sort of where we're at right now? Okay. Look, we're going to read 5 more examples right now, and I want you to, I'm going to call, okay. I'm going to call on someone to say, okay, which one of these things is happening or not happening to get to those outcomes. So can I have F?
The CMA looks at both the teacher's actions and student actions, as well as student outcomes, to hone in on the likely biggest deal issues preventing students from achieving goals.
Okay, so really quickly, what's happening there? Analysis. We don't know yet about communication. But yes, that person, by using specific teacher actions and specific student actions, they're beginning to analyze the classroom correctly. Can I have letter for F?
A CMA leaves a note after a short observation that communicates progress seen on previous next steps and gives the CM one quick fix to try in their lesson tomorrow.
So what's happening here? Communication. And again, that's just on a technical level, right? Sometimes we don't have we're going to do 2 types of feedback, and in that case, it's very specific for communicating. H.
A core member believes our biggest problem is the student's behavior, and because the CMA does not have any of those theories after observing for 30 minutes, the CMA agrees with the CM about that being the cause of students not learning.
What's not happening here? Yeah, 4-1. And when you read it on these little slips, it sounds like, oh, how could you ever do that, right? But when you are a CMA, you have a lot of things happening, and you have a little bit of time. And so if you don't go into those conversations prepared, you can sort of let the conversation guide you to the outcome, and then you end up sort of leaving feeling like, how did we get here? But I don't know how we got here, but now this farmer's going to go do something, and I didn't spend time on the front end really going in with the theory. Okay? I.
The CMA comes to a conversation with a couple theories in mind, but listens intently to what the core member thinks is going on in order to figure things out together.
2. So someone said at the beginning, Monique, I think, said, like, they need to get more information from me, and so I need to have that code. They need to know what's going on in my classroom, and someone else said it too. When they come to the conversation, you're getting information from the member. And then J.
A core member explains to you that the purpose of co-investigation is to fill out the worksheet with something in every box, but that it doesn't really seem like a conversation.
What are you struggling with? I think that is something that a large number of CMAs had a hard time fitting themselves into that. There is a document you fill out, and so what we don't want it to seem is like, like, I don't know, like just like what you said, it needs to seem like a conversation, but sometimes it can be difficult to facilitate all the pieces you have, and what we're going to talk about in this session is at least starting to figure out how to do that so that the core member doesn't feel like what Emily just said. Okay.